Today we are taking a look at the brand new Mythical Island set coming to Pokemon Pocket. We are going to react to the trailer for the first time, break down absolutely every card shown, and also theorize on cards to come at the very end of the video. Let's get started. All right, here goes nothing. My first time reacting. Ooh, okay, Liepard, Executor, Gyarados, Rapidash, Salazzle. Oh my gosh, there's so much. What was that? I gotta go back already. So just in this screenshot alone, we have the Stonjourner, Mew, Behemoth, and Superior on the right. Then we got Salazzle and then Volcarona up in the sky. But I'm already so hyped. This is so sick. I've been waiting for the next set to come. So obviously it's gonna be centered around Mew and then an Aerodactyl up right. Mythical Island. Ooh, the booster pack looks so clean. Okay, I'm wondering if this is gonna be the only artwork, but I love the Mew theme. All right. Ooh, okay. Wait, let's break that down already. So for 3 energy, you choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and then use it against them. That is gonna counter the meta so hard. Wait, that's awesome. I love that card. Okay, we got Aerodactyl. Your opponent can't play any Pokemon from their hand to evolve their active. Ooh, I actually think this has mad potential because this is their ability and they don't have to be in play to use this. This actually shakes things up quite a bit. I love the addition of this card. Okay, and 80 damage off 2 energy. The only trouble is gonna be getting that fossil to evolve into Aerodactyl. But if you're able to do that, that's gonna be a crazy card to shake things up. Okay, I'm gonna pause towards the end and we'll break down every card later. But, oh my gosh, more lol, okay. Wow. I mean, obviously they were gonna have a whole bunch of new cards, but this blows my mind. Okay, let me keep playing it. I'm gonna stop pausing. Okay, December 17th. Okay, everyone set your calendar. I cannot wait. But that also means I have to get every other card that we're missing before then. As we're recording, we got 5. Ooh. So instead of going back in the trailer frame by frame, I found this website called POKEBEACH where they break down absolutely everything. So full credit goes to them. Definitely go check out their website down below and bookmark it because they were on top of this as soon as this got released. So we have everything from the booster pack art to every card showed, and we're gonna take a look at every single thing now. So, the first card that we can see here is Snivy. And for 40 damage, it takes 2 energy. One thing that's a little annoying is that they didn't show its evolution line, so Servine or Superior cards have not been shown. But at the end of this video, like I mentioned, we will speculate and I'll show you options on what the cards could look like. Then we got Morlul with 20 damage off of 1 energy. Nothing too crazy out of these first 2 cards, but again, these are basics. But now we're talking. We got Mew EX. And the reason this is so interesting is because you could choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon and use its attack. So let's say your opponent has a Mewtwo out. They're loading it up with the energy, about to use Psy Drive, but before they can do that, you hit them with their own attack. And you do it for less energy. So for 3 energy, you can output the same amount of damage. And the other thing is, you can basically have this on your bench ready to go out as a counter to whatever they use. So another example is, what if they use Charizard, right? They might take out your Mewtwo EX, but imagine you have your Mew EX on your bench ready to go. And the thing is, this is also a Psychic type. So Gardevoir, Mew, plus Mewtwo could be a very real possibility. And not to mention, with the addition of this card, Dark Energy decks are going to be so useful. So Arbok, Weezing, and Muck, I'm going to predict that they rise up in the meta even more so after this update. But moving on, we got our first supporter card. We got Blue. During your opponent's next turn, all of your Pokemon take 10 less damage from attacks. So this is basically nerfing the Giovanni card, the way I see it. So I think it will be good to run one of these in the decks moving forward, but it's nothing too crazy. But next we have probably my favorite or the best card in the set so far. We have the 1-star Vaporeon card, which the art looks amazing and its ability is amazing. As often as you would like, during your turn, you can move a water energy from one of your benched to one of your active, which is wild. Because basically it's saying you can use the Broken Misty card flip as much as you want, load up a Pokemon on your bench, and then just put it to your active one and completely wipe them out. The obvious main drawback of this card is the fact that you have to get so lucky with Misty. And that's basically the entire water dex right now. And not to mention, the attack on the card is not great. For 3 energy, you're doing 60. So do I think it's gonna break Pokemon Pocket? Absolutely not. All right, so next we got Dedenne for 60 HP and 10 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, they become paralyzed. Okay. So basically, this card is a better Pinsirchin. I mean, the drawback is the low HP, but if you're using this card in general, you're not going to be going after the damage because you're going to be going after using Pikachu EX for the damage. So I actually think this is going to be used quite a lot and might even replace this card completely outright because this attack is not worth 2 energy if you have one that can do it for 1. But again, relies on a coin flip. So, is what it is. Following that up, we got another grass type. We got Execute. And you take 1 grass energy from your energy zone and attach it to this Pokemon. So, what I will say is I don't quite understand this card. The reason being is because unless there is another Executor, you don't need a lot of energy. I mean, sure, to retreat maybe, but as of right now, you only need 1 energy for their max potential damage. So my guess is maybe there's also a 2.0 version of the Executor card. There's also the baby Executor, which also only uses 1 energy. So there's no argument there. If someone has a reasoning for this being an option, let me know down in the comments. I was thinking maybe there would be a way for them to move the energy off of the Executor or Execute, but as it stands, I don't believe that's an option. So let's move on. Next, we got Delmise. He has an energy whip that could do 20, or if this Pokemon has 3 extra energy attached, it does 70 more damage, which is a lot of energy. But this will be 100% used in combination with the Lilligant card, because you can take an energy and attach it to one of your benched Pokemon, that being Delmise. But even so, he only has 100 HP. Which can be one-shot by any decent card. So I think you might struggle with this, especially if you're going against a fire-type deck. I still like this concept, though. Next, we got Aerodactyl EX. The ability is so cool. So they can't evolve their active Pokemon, which is wild. And what's interesting now is that it's become a fighting type. The baby version was colorless, but it's still weak to electric. But for 2 energy, you output 80, and you can make them not evolve their active cards. So I think this will be meta very quickly. I could see Marowak Aerodactyl working so great. So I'm going to be very much on the look for this card. I also hope that there's a 2-star version, because there's some cool Aerodactyl arts that exist in the TCG. But next, we got Marshadow, another fighting type. We got Revenge. If any of the Pokemon were knocked out by damage from an attack, this does 60 more damage. It is a basic. Ooh, I forgot about that. And it has 80 HP, which is not bad. Yo, wait, this is kind of a nice card. I think with Aerodactyl and Marshadow, fighting actually might move up the tier list. But this is only the start, because next we got Larvesta, and it's nothing crazy, but let me be honest. And unfortunately, we don't get to see what Volcarona does. But again, I will speculate at the end on what that card could possibly look like. But as it stands, nothing too crazy to look into here. Next, though, we got Magmar. I haven't seen this card till now. For 2 energy, you output 80 damage. So just my first thought when it comes to Magmar, Moltres EX, flip your coins, put them on Magmar, switch Moltres out, 80 damage. Just like that. And also, Blaine can be used on Magmar. So we're talking 30 plus 80. Whoa. Is Blaine gonna be meta? I mean, he's already pretty good. 110. That is a lot of damage for 2 energy. But again, the drawback, if I didn't say this before, you discard both of your energy from the Pokemon. It seems a bit RNG to become broken, but sounds fun. Actually sounds really, really fun. I'm actually kind of happy that nothing here seems too busted. If I had to put one thing that would tilt me, would probably be the Vaporeon card, but I don't think it's broken. So that's great that they care about balancing, to be honest. Next, I guess they didn't show the full version of this card. Let's see if they mention it. Okay, so yeah, so it does 10 damage for each of the benched Pokemon. Okay, that's not that great. I'm guessing it's 1 energy. It doesn't say. Let me see if I can find the old card. Okay, so the old variation is nothing like the new card, but I think we can probably assume it's only gonna cost 1 energy, but that's complete speculation. Don't take my word for that. But moving along, next we got Tauros. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an EX, it does 80 more damage. So 120 for 3 energy. It's colorless and weak to fighting. I don't think it's that good. Because reason being, 80 damage off 2 energy, and it's weak to fighting. You're getting one shot by an Aerodactyl. So basically, you need to have this on your bench, and you have to have something else to take hits for it. Because if they Sabrina you, all that work and 3 turns would be for nothing, which I have happened so often. This isn't really gonna change much, at least in my eyes. But again, anything that you disagree with me on, comment them down below. I'm so excited to have conversations and theorize on what's to come. And it's literally happening this week, or next week. But next, we got a trainer, which is Leaf. We got, during this turn, retreat cost is 2 less retreat cost. Wait, so is this just gonna replace X speed? The reason it wouldn't 100% is because this is a supporter and not an item. For those that don't know, you can only do 1 supporter, but you can do unlimited items. But nevertheless, this makes it way easier for tankier Pokemon to get off of the active spot. The first 2 examples I thought of was Executor, because it takes 3 to retreat, and typically you only have 1 energy on them, so you could actually withstand some hits here. And then the next would be Snorlax, but I mean, for 4 energy, he's still not viable at all. In my opinion, he's probably one of the worst. But typically, you just use him as a meat shield anyway. Hopefully, they buff him or make him viable in the future. I think that is the last thing. We got a closer look at the booster pack art, which, mind you, looks amazing. And here it has the artwork that was shown in that trailer with the Stonjourner in the Cyperior. Let's take a look if there's anything else on the site. I don't know where this comes from, but it depicts here the solo expert battles for Mythical Island. So currently in the game, there's this exact same thing, but for Genetic Apex. So it looks like this is gonna happen for every single card set, which is so cool. But I believe that is everything. And then they said on Tuesday, which was confirmed in the trailer, we will have a full card set. So again, huge shout out to POKEBEACH.com for all this info. If you get anything from this video at all, go bookmark that website because they were on top of this, and join their Discord too. But now I'm going to speculate. So if you're only here for cold hard facts, this might be your key to leave. But for those that like to theorize, let's hop into it. So what we're gonna do now is take a look at every Pokemon in this trailer and their base set equivalent cards. So for example, this first one that we're looking at is gonna be Liepard, and its pre-evolution basic state is Purloin, which would make sense that we get another dark type card. Because with Mew being added, we need more dark options. So there's nothing really crazy to talk about here. This is from Black and White base set. But for Liepard, they have 2 attacks where you can switch out their bench with their active, and then they have a Sucker Punch. And for every dark energy, they do 30 more damage, which again, this is all speculation. But does this mean if the 2 energy that you are using to power up Liepard, does that mean it does 90? That would be crazy. And if it does 90 and Mew EX is weak to dark, this could actually be a really cool card that they add. Again, it's not even guaranteed that they add Liepard in general, but this is the base set Black and White card. So let's continue on and speculate about other Pokemon. So all 3 of these have cards and exist. The next is gonna be Volcarona. So you'll notice this Larvesta card is very similar to this artwork. And coming from the same set, we have the Volcarona variation, which we can expect this to be simplified because no card has 2 attacks. But the 2 options are the Fiery Dance, which we attach an energy, and then for the second, it's Heat Wave. And this would be the first variation of being burned if they do in fact add this card. And for those that do not know, being burned in the regular TCG does 20 damage, as opposed to like poison doing 10 per turn. This is outputting 20. So even though that the 60 seems like very little damage output, you'll quickly realize that if it is just like it and they do implement 20 damage per burn, this could be a pretty decent card. Now, do I think it's better than what we currently have with Charizard, Moltres, meta with the Arcanine? Probably not, but I would love to see them add the burned effect. That would be cool. Moving right along. Okay, wait, hold up. It only shows it for a few seconds. So let's start with Stonejourner, which comes from Sword and Shield base set. And for being a basic Pokemon, it has quite a lot of options. With 120 HP and this only taking 2 energy to do 70, this could be a viable option for the new fighting meta that comes out with Aerodactyl and the Marshadow card. There's just so many new options now. But again, this is speculation, not guaranteed. But also in this same screenshot, we have 2 other Pokemon that we haven't seen cards for. This is the Beheeyem card from Noble Victories from Black and White. And we also have the pre-evolution Elgium as well here. So let's take a look at this first. If it was able to heal 30 damage, that would be kind of insane. But also it only has 60 HP. So this could be unique. You want to play it very early on in your active slot and pray that you get your Beheeyem fast enough. And here we also have 2 different options for his attack. We got Psychronoise, 20 damage to each of your Pokemon's benched that shares the type with the defending Pokemon. Wait, that could be crazy against Pikachu EX. Wait. Oh, he gets one shot by Pikachu EX. Yeah, I was gonna say, imagine if they have 3 on their bench, but 90 to his face. Yeah, nah, that wouldn't work. Obviously, I don't think this would be busted. So if they add it, I would not be mad. All right, continuing on. Right next to it in the same screenshot, we got the Superior, which going back to the site, we saw that this Snivy card is the same as this original card. And from Black and White base, I found all 3 variations. So we got the Snivy. They basically took Vine Whip and buffed it 20. If we're looking at the Pocket versus original. And then for Servine, if we go to Black and White base, you flip a coin, the defending Pokemon is now paralyzed. And it also does 30 damage, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure we don't have a card that is other than electric that can paralyze. And you discard an energy? Wait, that is so toxic. Imagine that's how it works. That sounds like a lot of fun. But let's see what Superior looks like from Black and White base. Shout out to whoever's holding this. Okay, we have Vine Whip that does 40 damage. And then Leaf Storm. Heal 20 damage from each of your grass Pokemon? Yo. And it does 60. So you're telling me if you have 3 grass type on your bench, you're getting healed 60? Is that how that works? This single-handedly could be one of the best cards in the game. Again, it is the 3rd evolution, so it would take a while to get him out, but like, I actually want to see this card in the game. But looking through, the only card that we really haven't talked about is this one right here, Morlul, which, once again, I found the original artwork and where it comes from. They buffed the original damage by 10, and they got rid of the ability to make your opponent asleep, which I predict with the evolution to have something similar here. Because just the overall aesthetic of this Pokemon, I think would make sense to have a sleep ability. And actually, wait, I didn't even look at this ability here. Once during your turn, before your attack, you may search your deck for a grass Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle. Huh. I don't know if that would necessarily happen, but I could definitely see this attack being a real thing. If you want my bold prediction, and you can come back to this video to tell me I was right, but I think that it's gonna do 50 damage per attack and also sleep the opponent. That's my prediction. I think that's a pretty safe bet though, because Wigglytuff EX kind of does the exact same thing. But if you do eliminate the Wigglytuff, yeah, I think 50. I think 50 is a reasonable assumption. But I believe that is absolutely everything in the trailer and speculations I might have. But as you can see, this comes out on December 17th, this Tuesday. So if you are excited as I am, make sure you subscribe here because I'm gonna make so much content on this brand new update, open all the packs, make new decks, and I think I can make a bunch of cool new content with this update. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Luke Restifo, if you haven't seen my videos before. And if you want to stay connected with what I do and want to be involved in my community, join the Discord and share what you guys get when this new set comes out, because I'm gonna get jealous very quickly. But if you wouldn't mind subscribing while you're here, that would be appreciated. But we'll see you guys in the next one. I'm so hyped. Goodbye.